Hi everybody, Dan Illma here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illma here with the DRF race of the day for Sunday, April the 17th. It's race number 4 at Woodbine, the $100,000 Thorncliff Stakes, and we kick off a 20-cent pick 4 with a guaranteed pool of $100,000. Let's take a look at this field. Remember to view those free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Take a peek and handicap along with me. It's opening weekend at Woodbine. You might want to tread carefully because many of these horses, and these are quality stakes horses, are returning off lengthy layoffs, and they might have bigger fish to fry down the road. Perhaps the Thorncliff is nothing more than a prep for several of these runners. Use those free Formulator past performances. Utilize the lifetime past performance viewpoint, and you can see which horses have run well off layoffs in the past. Utilize the trainer stats. Filter them down. See which trainers have done well off lengthy layoffs in the past as well. Well, let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. There are several horses in this race with speed. I do agree with Timeform US's assessment that the number 6 Spite Store is the fastest at this shorter sprint distance. This is another horse coming off of a layoff. He showed some promise last year as a 3-year-old. He's lightly raced. He's also stepping up into stakes competition for the first time. The number 1 is Silent Poet as we take the field in post position order, and this horse won the Grade 1 Highlander in his most recent start. We'll go back to that race at Woodbine last summer. 3/4 of a mile on the turf. Silent Poet, a very classy horse, has good speed, but was able to sit off another horse through fast fractions in this race, and is very game to win with a 98 Beyer speed figure. Now, 2 concerns. That race was in the summer of 2021. There was still plenty of time for him to do some racing, and he went to the sidelines. Maybe something physically went amiss, and he might be a better horse on the turf than he is on synthetic. He's won 10 of 17 on turf, 1 of 5 on synthetic. He has won 3 times off layoffs in the past. I wonder if this horse is going to take a lot of money, however, based on that Grade 1 victory. He's down on the inside with some other speeds outside of him. He is a strong contender to be sure. I'm just not sure I want to take a short price on the number 1 Silent Poet. The number 2 in here is Richie's in the House. Richie's in the House historically runs very well fresh. He has won all 5 times off layoff lines. Now, of course, those layoffs came when he was with trainer Larry Ravelli. This horse was claimed 2 starts back for $62,500, and we'll watch his first start for the New Connections. This was the Grade 2 County Road back last November, and this horse ran very, very well. The pace was reasonable, and he sat just off the pace, but he was very game to finish second behind the superstar, the now retired Pink Lloyd. Certainly no disgrace from Richie's in the House, who earned a 90 Beyer speed figure and is a synthetic horse to be sure. The 4th place horse on the Kennedy Road came back to run second recently in a state-bred stakes race on dirt at Tampa Bay with a 96 Beyer speed figure. So here's a horse that runs well fresh. Here's a horse that likes synthetic. Here's a horse that has tactical speed. Is this distance really what he wants to do? He's run well at 5 and 5.5 on turf in his career. He's been more of a 3/4 of a mile horse on synthetic. I think the distance is okay, and he runs well fresh again. The 3 is Lapoche. Lapoche comes off 2 victories to close out his 2021 campaign, and it's nice to see this veteran 9-year-old campaigner back for another go. He's hit the exacta in 23 of 51 starts with 13 wins. Let's watch his last start. A claiming event, going 7/8 of a mile on the Tapeta surface. I like the way he won this race. I don't think he beat a very strong field, and he's taking a step up in class to be sure for his seasonal debut, but there wasn't a lot of pace on. They went the opening quarter mile of this race in 24 seconds flat. Lapoche, as is his habit, fell back in the pack early and came with a good, strong late run, and he won that race very easily. A big step up in class, however, coming off the layoff, and it's possible 5.5 is just a little bit sharp. The number 4 in here is Not So Quiet. Not So Quiet's won off a layoff in the past. He won off almost 2 years off back in 2020 when winning an optional claiming race going 5/8 of a mile over the synthetic service. It's a shame this horse has had his share of problems. He's had layoff lines of a year or greater on 2 occasions. When he does run, he can fire. Let's watch his last start of 2021. This is the Overskate. It's an off-turf race going 7/8 of a mile on the Tapeta, and he got a very good trip in here. He pushed the pace inside early, he takes over a clear lead in the stretch, and he wins very, very easily with a 95 Beyer speed figure. He's won his last 2 races with fast numbers. He seems equally adept on synthetic and turf. Mark Casse does a good job with horses off layoffs, and this horse just seems like you don't really want to give him a prep because you never know when things are going to go awry and he's going to go back on the bench. So I have a feeling he'll be sharp for his first start back, and the distance won't be an issue. He's another horse that is tactical. He can adapt to any kind of pace scenario. White Flag is up next. White Flag went off the layoff last year. Now, he was coming off an 11-month layoff, and he scored in a 6.5 furlong race on the turf at Woodbine. Last time out, they ran him in the Grade 2 in the Arctic, and he caught a very yielding turf course that day. I don't think he cared for that. I'm willing to give him a mulligan. He only started twice in 2021, and this is a veteran that's had his share of problems getting back to the races. He's only raced once previously on synthetic behind Pink Lloyd in the Bold Venture, a race that preceded a long layoff. Maybe he injured himself somehow in that race. The jury's still out as to whether he's as good on synthetic as he is on turf. I think he's slightly better on turf. I'm taking a wait-and-see approach for his first start of the year. Spite Store we talked about. He could be the pace of this race, and he was very sharp towards the end of his 3-year-old season. Let's watch his most recent start, going this 5.5 furlong distance on the synthetic, and he got a very nice ride and trip. He got out to a lead. He was able to relax. I didn't think the pace was very fast, and we're going to see him just hold off the closers in the final strides. The 4th place finisher came back to run 3rd for a $60,000 tag with an 86 Beyer. He might have to deal with a faster pace. He's certainly going to have to deal with a tougher caliber of competition, but this horse has a lot of upside potential. This is only going to be his first start as a 4-year-old. Arzak is the number 7, and Arzak to me might be one of those dirtied up horses. He wintered at Gulfstream Park, so it's not like he's coming off such a long layoff. It's about 3.5 months for Arzak. Last time he ran, it was a 2-turn synthetic race. I'm not really sure he's a 2-turn horse. I know he's won around 2 turns at Tampa Bay, but he caught a good field in that showing up. 3 next out winners, and I'm willing to forgive that performance without Lasix. He'll get Lasix again, and the last time he sprinted with Lasix was the Tom Ridge Stakes at Presque Isle Downs. He won that race with a 90 Beyer speed figure. He's a horse that would benefit from a quick pace up front. He has won fresh in the past. Again, 5.5 might be a little bit sharp for him. I have a lot of respect for his trainer, Michael Trombetta. Lenny K is the 8. Lenny K, another horse making his first start of the year, like Spite Store, is a 4-year-old. Last time out, they tested him in the Grade 2 Kennedy Road. He finished behind Richie's in the house that day with a 7th place effort. If you want to say he didn't break very well and there wasn't a ton of pace to close into, I can certainly make that argument. He still needs to prove it to me at this class level, however, and again, he's going to have to do it off the layoff. The 9 is Clear Destination, another horse making his first start of the year. Hasn't raced since September, and his last 4 starts were not good at all. It seems that this horse is just taking a shot. In his first race back, he seems a bit overmatched on paper, but in a race full of horses off long layoffs, I don't want to knock horses, especially ones that are going to be huge, huge prices. Before we take a look at my picks, please, folks, remember to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel, where you'll be able to get the latest DRFTV videos, all the Time Form US podcasts from David Aragona and Craig Milkowski, Derby Watch with Jay Privman and Marty McGee, all the stakes previews, all the race of the days, and lots more. Here's who I like in the race of the day on Sunday. Again, we're kicking off a 20-cent pick 4 with a $100,000 guaranteed pool. I like Not So Quiet. The number 4 for trainer Mark Casse. This is a horse, again, equally good on turf and synthetic, runs well fresh, runs well at these short distances, like the fact he can adapt to any kind of pace scenario. And again, I trust Mark Casse off the layoff, especially with a horse like this. A horse that's been a little bit brittle, and you don't want to waste races prepping with horses that might go to the sidelines at any point in time. Not So Quiet, my pick in the Sunday DRF race of the day. Best of luck.